Well, you're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, kids in McDonald County get a hands-on lesson when they plug into a robotics camp.
Also, a Newton County official pushes back against a state-recommended increase in property assessment rates.
And we've got thunderstorms pushing through the area, some of them on the strong side. We'll keep an eye on them and bring you the latest coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner, just after 7 a.m. now on this Thursday, July the 17th. We got those showers and storms rolling through the area. Some of you a fairly loud start to the day. There's been a lot of lightning with these storms, so you want to make sure you're being cautious as you get your Thursday underway. And we will take a look at those storms in just a moment, but not really storms in McDonald County the other day. Something more interesting.
Yes, the second McDonald County Robotics Camp is underway at the McDonald County High School.
KOAM's Ty Park shows us how the kids are using robots to learn coding and much more.
It's good for your mind to challenge yourself and learn new things. So I joined thinking that I would be able to do that.
Stetton Moffitt is challenging himself in the McDonald County Robotics Camp. Kids are divided into 3 groups. The first 2 designed for younger children like Moffitt, who are learning basic coding and construction.
And in each of the groups, they start to do something that's a little bit more challenging. So with mine, we give them robots that are already just one robot. You can touch buttons on it to make it go or stop or whatever you want it to do. But you can also code it to do what you want it to do. And then they build things and add on to it. But then once you go to the next group up, they are building their own robots that they use remote controls to use or code their own robots to move. And then in the step up past that, they're building with like real metal material and doing much larger scale robots.
But for some kids, building and coding a robot can be stressful.
When you build one, you feel like happy and you think that like you have anxiety, like is it going to work or is it going to fail? So when I'm building it, I just think of the bright side and I think that it'll work.
So our main goal is to introduce STEM to children young. We were noticing that in McDonald County especially and in districts even around us, kids weren't getting a hands-on STEM lesson until they got to high school and had the choice to take it.
The camp is more than just lines of 1s and 0s.
A lot of people might like it because you get to build stuff. It's really fun here, and all the teachers are really nice, and I like it.
I think kids will have a lot of fun, even adults, because this is a very fun thing for any age because you just get to build and like you can build a lot of stuff, and there's no really limit to what you can build. And I think a lot of people enjoy that.
And for kids like Moffitt, who enjoy the opportunity to grow and learn through STEM. In McDonald County, Ty Parks, KOAM News.
You can check out the student-made robots at the McDonald County Fair, which starts today.
Of course, it is fair season. We've been talking about that the last couple of weeks. Lots of great things going on, so make sure you get there and check those things out. But make sure you're staying hydrated if you're at any outdoor fairs, because it's going to be pretty darn hot. It's still actually going to be pretty muggy today, but first we have thunderstorms. Let's start with that look outside downtown Pittsburgh. Of course, getting a little darker out there. We got thunderstorms knocking on your door right now. You've been listening to the thunder, probably seeing the lightning all morning, and those storms are getting closer. MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline looking good as well. So here's the Skywatch storm tracker. So right now, what we do have is for Cedar and St. Clair County in Missouri, we have what's known as a significant weather advisory. It just means that the storm up there is just below severe limits, and you can see it now. It's this portion that's right here where we got that heavier rains to the southeast now, or south rather, of Osceola and just to the east of El Dorado Springs. So Stockton Lake, it's headed your way. It is not severe, but it does have winds up to 50 miles an hour, and it could continue to intensify out there. So we're going to keep an eye on it. We're going to keep an eye on all these storms. We got thunderstorms back through Nevada into Vernon County, back toward Arcadia. Lamar, you're not in it yet, but it is out there. Pittsburgh, again, just now rolling in You can actually get pretty close into Frontenac, and you can see the north side of Pittsburgh here starting to get in on some thunderstorm activity. More out to your west. Thunderstorms, again, just really across the whole area. The leading edge of this line, though, now through the Parsons area, coming up on Mound Valley into Independence, back into Sedan and Chautauqua County, with some lighter showers of thunderstorm activity back behind it. But the leading edge is what we're watching, because there's been a lot of storm migrations going on, or mergers rather, this morning from activity that developed ahead of this line, kind of slowed the line down, but you can see it does look as though it's trying to reorganize, and we do have the chance for some strong to low-grade severe storms with 60-mile-an-hour winds, the primary concern out there today. So we'll keep an eye on these storms through the morning. We'll have the best chances of storms, obviously, from right now through about 1, 2 o'clock this afternoon. Then they'll become a bit more scattered. We're not done with them, but they'll be a bit more scattered out there. And then even isolated by this evening before more storms develop overnight. We're at 78 in Joplin, Pittsburgh. Temperature coming down as that storm approaches. 74. There's our cooler air, our cold front pushing into the area. 71 Yates Center. You're warming back up. You dropped into the 60s earlier, and we've got mid to upper 70s ahead of that. Our highs today expected to be below normal. We're low 80s by 9, mid 80s by noon, upper 80s for most of us for our highs, but all the moisture, all the humidity that's going to be in place from these storms and for the next round of storms, going to put our heat index values today close to 100 degrees. So you still need to make sure you're taking precautions out there, because we're talking very thick air across the area this afternoon. We'll talk about our storms today, tonight, tomorrow, and how our weekend is shaping up here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, high-speed chase through Pittsburgh ends with a crash and arrest after a domestic disturbance call early yesterday morning. Police responded to a report near the intersection of East 7th and North Elm, where a man fled in a silver Nissan Sentra. The pursuit took officers east to Joplin Street and then headed south, covering several blocks before ending at the National Mini Storage Facility. There, the suspect crashed into a fence and a storage building. After a brief struggle, officers took him into custody. Paramedics treated the suspect before transporting him to the hospital. A search of the vehicle uncovered cocaine and other illegal drugs. Investigators learned the suspect had battered and threatened 2 women prior to the chase. He now faces multiple felony and misdemeanor charges and is currently held in the Crawford County Jail without bond. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Well, the Newton County assessor is at odds with the state tax commission over the state's request to raise property assessment values. KOAM's Samantha Walker has the story.
They said, well, you just put a 12% straight across the county on everybody. And I said, no, I'm not doing that. My county can't afford it. So I withstood my ground.
Like dozens of other counties in Missouri, Newton County fell out of compliance with their property assessment valuations, currently assessing properties at 77% of market value. State law says assessments have to be within 90 to 110% of market value. Non-compliant counties received a letter from the State Tax Commission asking them to raise property valuations. But Newton County Assessor Cheryl Perkins says she's not signing a letter of understanding from the State Tax Commission asking her office to raise county property tax valuations by 12%.
The cost of living's going up, our utilities are going up, our insurances are going up, and we just can't afford another huge increase. I would not do it even if I had time to put a 12% on somebody overnight or in one tax year. I won't do it.
She says she wants to be in compliance and she also wants to follow Missouri state law, but she feels like this increase needs to be more gradual.
We do need to be in compliance because we do need to be at value, but we can't get there overnight when we didn't fall out of compliance overnight.
In a May meeting, the State Tax Commission voted to withhold 2026 assessment maintenance funds from 14 counties, including Newton County, for their refusal to sign the letter of understanding and upping property assessments to their desired amount. Those maintenance funds are used by assessor's office to pay for salaries, supplies, and work vehicles. In Newton County, the amount being withheld is more than $108,000.
Newton County's assessment fund is in good shape, and we can take the blow. And I will do it for the people.
But she says the State Tax Commission is likely to take further action, from removing her from office to withholding more funds.
Our next plan is to try to hold all the sales tax from the counties to where they have no operating money, to make the assessor raise the values.
Perkins says she will continue to fight any significant increases in future years, something she says the commission is planning, but emphasizes not every assessor has the same ability to refuse like her, so she encourages community members to reach out to their lawmakers if they want to see change. Reporting in Newton County, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
KOAM has reached out to the Missouri State Tax Commission for comment. We have not yet received a response. And those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up next, we'll hear how a cup of coffee can help connect you with law enforcement. We'll be right back. But first, here's a live look from the Cherokee County, Kansas Fairgrounds in Columbus. Welcome back. Captain Austin Wolf from the Joplin Police Department is with us this morning to share a couple of opportunities for the public to come and connect with law enforcement. Welcome. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. Happy to have you. So talk to me about some exciting opportunities for the community of Joplin. They can have coffee with the chief starting in July 28th. Talk to me about that.
That's right. On the 28th, Granny Schaefer's on North Range Line. You know, this is one of our great opportunities that we have for community members to come out, have a cup of coffee with the chief, and it's a relaxed environment. It's an opportunity for everybody to come out and just meet the chief. I mean, he's been around for a little bit, but he's still new to the area.
Yes.
So he's got some really great ideas, and it's a time that they can discuss what's the plans moving forward with the Joplin Police Department, you know, and if there's any concerns or any ideas for the community, that's a perfect opportunity just to get out and have those discussions.
Absolutely. Now that's from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and that date. And kind of just talk to me a little bit more about what you're hoping community members who take advantage of this really take away from the event.
A relaxed conversation. You know, people know what's going on in our community from a different perspective because sometimes we don't get calls. Sometimes people are reluctant to call the police department, but we want to know what's going on within our community. And we have smaller communities within our big community. So if we have that opportunity to have that relaxed conversation and just get informed, and we can have the time to educate and talk about our plans. And sometimes people don't know what we're doing, and so it's a great time to do that.
Absolutely. And now next month you have a very special event, another block party happening.
Party in the park.
Absolutely. That's going to be August 8th. Talk to me a little bit about that.
You know, the Joplin Police Department started about 5 years ago doing these different parties in the park or neighborhood block parties, and we have been very successful in that. And the last one, we had over 1,000 people show up at Schifferdecker, which was amazing.
Yes.
And this is our final party in the park or block party that we're hosting this summer. You know, the summer's not over, but we're getting close.
We certainly are.
So we have several different sponsors that come out, and we have a lot of static displays with emergency vehicles where kids can play on the vehicles and take a look at them right up close. And this one's going to be at Par Hill Park from 4 to 7. And we're going to have the splash pad open, and we're going to have hot dogs, we're going to have refreshments.
Oh, how fun.
And last year, a big surprise, Starbucks brought out a bunch of refreshing drinks, and it was pretty warm outside, so it was real fun.
All right, sounds amazing. And then real quickly, something else coming up on July 25th, the second Boots of Badges and Bandages blood drive. Tell folks a little bit about what they can expect for this event.
This is a first responder blood drive, and it's hosted at our training center, which is near the airport at 5102 Swede Lane. And the neat thing about this one is that citizens have the opportunity to become first responders.
Yes.
And they get to donate blood, and there's a huge shortage of blood right now. But this one's really unique because, one, you get a free first responder t-shirt when you donate. And the other thing is you get put in for a $10,000 dream vacation to use it on a variety of different vacations that are offered. So this is a really great time for people to come out, donate blood, become a first responder, save some lives, and at the same time get a free t-shirt, get a dream vacation, and potentially a free pass to a water park. Those supplies are limited though.
Wonderful. Lots of fantastic opportunities for the community of Joplin to connect with you all. Thank you so much for your time this morning. Happy to have you as always.
Thank you.
Of course, stick around. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:19 on this Thursday morning. Again, we've got this line of thunderstorms pushing through. We did have this storm up into Cedar and St. Clair County intensify for a bit, but the what's known as a significant weather advisory, saying it's just below severe limits, expired about 4 minutes ago, and there's not a new one in place. We are watching the entire line as parts of it are trying to reorganize and could become low-grade severe as we push through the morning. Our lightning strikes have also come down. When this all was getting organized earlier this morning, we were near 500 lightning strikes from this activity, and you can see all of that lightning, even though it got frozen up there. There it goes, as it pushed through. We're down to about 150. Still, though, that's a lot of lightning. It's still dangerous. It can still be deadly. You want to make sure you're just getting to the car quickly, getting out of the car quickly, whatever it is you may be doing, as this line continues to sink off to the south and east, eventually getting ready to roll into parts of Cherokee County, pushing through Barton County, and will approach the I-44 corridor and continue south of that point. And in that time frame, some of those storms could still try and re-intensify, and if they do, damaging wind gusts at about 60 miles an hour or so would be the main concern with those. And that's what we had earlier this morning in Anderson and Lynn counties in southeast Kansas, around 4:30ish this morning. We did have a severe thunderstorm warning out there for 60-mile-an-hour winds, so that's going to be the concern, is for gusty winds. Our best chances of rain are, clearly right now through about 1 or 2 o'clock this afternoon. Then we're going to see scattered storms. Not everybody getting rain, but scattered storms will be possible as we head through the afternoon and evening. Then they'll actually become a bit more isolated by late evening before we see new development overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning. We'll keep an eye on those storms, not expecting much from them, but could still get a little bit on the strong side. And again, with any of the storms we see so far, the greatest concern has been with gusty winds or the potential for 60-mile-an-hour winds. So we'll watch these storms. By 5 a.m., they're crossing into the Missouri side along the I-49 corridor. By 9, maybe a few redevelop in parts of southeast Kansas along the 69 corridor. They'll also roll east. As we head into Friday afternoon, we heat up a lot. We're talking mid-90s heat index values tomorrow, up to 105. Future track, though, and this was an update that happened earlier this morning, wasn't showing up at 5 a.m., started showing up about 5:45 or so. It is hinting that we might get a few isolated storms through southeast Kansas tomorrow afternoon, late afternoon into the evening. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. Not expecting anything much either there, but still something we want to watch as we head into tomorrow afternoon. Now, the other concern we have is heat index values for today, which I'm going to talk about in just a moment. So scattered storms this morning. You can see the dark skies on the horizon in Joplin as that line slowly gets closer. Upper 70s by 8, mid 80s by 11. Highs today for most of us will be a bit below normal as we go into the upper 80s, maybe close to 90. Our heat index values, though, are still expected to be close to 100, and it is simply because there's going to be so much moisture in place from the storms this morning and ahead of the storms later tonight that it's going to be very muggy. We're talking very thick air out there, so you want to stay hydrated. You want to still take precautions. You don't want to let that temperature fool you, and you look at the thermostat or the thermometer in the house and say, oh, it's 86 outside. That's not too bad compared to the other day. It still could feel like about 100 out there, so do be cautious with that heat. Isolated storms through the evening, and as I mentioned, more scattered storms overnight. We'll be back in the low to mid 70s, so once the sun sets, temperatures kind of slow down on their drop. They just hang in there because the clouds, again, help keep in some of the warmer air. Mid 90s tomorrow, still mainly morning storms. We'll watch that possibility of some afternoon ones. Heat index values up to 105. That's going to be the case through the weekend. Sunny, hot, mid 90s, maybe some pop-up storms Monday and Tuesday, and still could even see some upper 90s next week. Let's check your forecast. We are back with more right after this.
Well, former American Idol contestants are coming to Pittsburgh to help support an organization whose mission is to help families who are facing crisis. We have Marky English and Mallory Hodges with us this morning to share how the proceeds help area families. Welcome to you both. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. So talk to me about this night of worship happening.
Yeah, next Wednesday, July 23rd, we're putting on a night of worship. It's going to be at Pitt Naz in Pittsburgh. Phil Stacy, American Idol contestant, is going to come and put on a concert with his daughter Michaela, who is also a American Idol contestant.
Wow. Yes, so talk to me a little bit about what this night of worship, means to the community, to you all, and what kind of the inspiration was behind everything.
So it's a benefit concert, so all the money raised will go to Safe Families and our organization and supporting the community, keeping families together and the children safe. And so it's going to just be a great opportunity for the whole community to come together and just worship and just get to learn more about our organization.
Absolutely. And talk to me a little bit, Marky, about how you've seen these proceeds, in the past, and just about this organization and what you want people to take away when they attend this event.
Just being in a community environment where people can come together and just kind of see the friendly faces of people who are trying to impact the community and really care about the families here, and just trying to bring everybody together and just kind of have that togetherness and just helping everybody.
Absolutely. Now, of course, this is going to be July 23rd. It's going to start at 6:30. Any other details folks need to know if they're looking to attend this event?
So they can go online. We have a Facebook page, an event called Night of Worship, and there is a link there, and they can go ahead and get tickets. The tickets are free, but we ask for a donation. And then we also have a silent auction, which is already up on our page, and they can start bidding there, or they can bid the night of the concert as well.
And what kind of items are up for auction?
Oh, we have the Kansas City Chiefs have sent us a football that is signed. The Pitt State girls basketball team last year that made it to the Final Four, they have signed a basketball for us. In the Garden Nursery in Pittsburgh has donated a really pretty basket. And then we have lots of tickets to Kansas City Zoo, the Science City, the Safari in Springfield, have all donated wonderful things for us to donate or to bid on.
Wonderful. It certainly sounds like a lot to look forward to next week. Thank you so much for your time, the both of you. Happy to have you. Stick around. We'll be right back.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:30, just coming up on 7:31. I'm Elise Snowy. The Bourbon County Fair kicked off yesterday in Fort Scott. The annual event gives agriculture competitors a chance to showcase their livestock in various categories, such as dairy and beef cattle. The fair also offers plenty of food, fun, and games. Well, veteran job seekers in the Sunflower State might be in luck. Kansas Works is hosting a hiring Veteran Day virtual job fair. Now, while the job fair is open to all job seekers, it's primarily aimed at veterans making the transition to civilian careers. The virtual event will take place Friday, July 25th from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can head over to KOAMNewsNow.com for more information. Now let's head over to Chris for a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we're still monitoring thunderstorms rolling through the area. Starting though with our quick look outside downtown Pittsburgh. We've got some shower activity moving into the Pittsburgh area and some thunderstorms out there. Modi camera 20th and range line in Joplin. It's getting dark ahead of this line of storms, so it's starting to break up a bit again, as you can see, but we're getting little showers and storms out ahead of the line, so we'll monitor all of it for you. Again, stretching, you've got the lighter showers, the lighter thunderstorms back behind all of this, so a good portion of southeast Kansas getting in on some moderate to heavy rain out there. We've got the thunderstorm activity now rolling into Stockton, the Stockton Lake area, through Drywood. Lamar, you are up next. Pittsburgh, it's pushing through right now. I did see, for example, this guy right over Asbury. This is what we're also watching for is here in the last, 12 minutes, that little storm really has popped up. Got him around Oswego, pushing through Parsons, back through Coffeyville, Independence, and south of Sedan, getting ready to roll in to portions of northeastern Oklahoma. This whole line of storms continuing to slowly but surely sink off to the south and southeast. There have been some storm mergers and interactions that have taken place that have impacted the line and slowed it down a bit in some cases. Still has that potential to become strong to low-grade severe, and it could bring some gusty winds upwards of 60 if it does intensify, which is what we will watch for. We haven't had any warnings since very early this morning, so that's some good news there. Our storm chances continue from now through about 2 o'clock. Then they'll become a bit more scattered, especially in our southern counties as we head into the afternoon, and then even by the evening, late evening, they'll become more isolated before we see more storm development overnight tonight. 78 in Joplin, you can tell where the rain is and isn't. 73 in Pittsburgh, and across the area we have cooler air to the northwest, that cold front pushing in. Got 69 now in Iola, 70 Yates Center, Neodesha, Fort Scott, and then ahead of it still some mid to upper 70s. Eventually we all warm up. We're going to make the low 80s by 9, mid 80s by noon. afternoon, upper 80s for our highs. And even though they're a little cooler, in fact, they're technically below normal for many of us, all the moisture in the air, heat index values today still approaching 100 degrees, so still take precautions out there. We're going to continue to monitor the storms this morning. We'll have more on what we're expecting through tonight into our Friday and the big warm up this weekend here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, Governor Mike Kehoe signed a bill into law this week that will help combat the spread of 6 invasive plants in the Show Me State. Now, as KOAM's Lonnie Walton reports, local experts say it's a much needed service to protect the native landscape.
I kind of fell in love with the green, the vibrancy, and the lush life that is nature.
Ashvin Scott is a job coach in Joplin. She helps remove invasive plants with her 2 students.
Try to make sure that you don't have tons of non-native plants, because that isn't always good for the dirt either. And that's what my mom drilled into my head at about age 12.
And another person spreading the message is Ava Valesquez, the habitat restoration coordinator for the Wildcat Glades in Joplin. One invasive plant she's removing right now is the winter creeper.
It crowds out all the native plants and it has shallow roots, so it contributes to erosion.
And it doesn't stop there. The crew is looking for another invasive plant, the Sericea lespedeza.
It's been discovered that it's very aggressive. It actually will make other plants around it unhealthy and crowd them out.
A new bill signed by Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe will ban nurseries in the state from buying, selling, and transporting 6 non-native invasive plants, including the Japanese honeysuckle, Sericea, burning bush, and calorie pear.
It happens regardless, but we're going to have to get rid of it, and it's going to be a very long project to do.
The forest gets cleaned up more, and you get to see more of the plants that actually are supposed to grow here.
The bill is one that conservationists in the state have wanted passed for some time now. However, for this group, they'll focus on the joy of restoring the habitat.
I love getting down on the ground and pulling up the winter creeper, because this morning I got to meet a very lovely frog and lots of beautiful spiders.
Reporting in Joplin, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
Now, the law will go into effect on August 28th, and that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. 2 medical students bike their way across the country to raise money for suicide awareness. We'll be right back, but first, here's a live look from the Cherokee County, Kansas Fairgrounds in Columbus. Welcome back. The Wildcat Nature Group Wildcat Glades Nature Group, haven't had enough coffee this morning, has been preparing for this weekend's Shoal Creek Water Festival. We have Robin Standridge with us this morning to share what folks can expect when they attend. Robin, good morning. Thank you so much for being with us.
Morning.
Talk to me about the festival happening and what folks can expect.
This Saturday, so it's July 19th, starting at 9 o'clock, we're all going to gather down by the creek in Wildcat Park. We have over 19 vendors that are going to be there, so they're going to be telling you lots of things about the water quality, how you can tell that it's a good quality. This year's theme is don't trash the splash, because we still need to get that information out there that what you throw into the water, it's not just one little thing. It creates a huge problem. So we're really going to try to sneak in some education amongst a lot of fun.
Absolutely. And what are you hoping that people take away kind of from those educational opportunities and the conservation efforts that you all do? And I'm sure everyone can learn something when they attend this event.
Oh, everyone's going to learn something. We're sneaky about teaching, but it lasts. The kids do learn a little bit. For instance, when they do the shoebox boat race, they do learn about that there is a cleaner spring in the park, and so that's where they race their boats. So we're hoping that people take that away, that Shoal Creek actually, some people think, oh, that's not a very pretty water. However, it is one of the cleanest streams around. It is monitored regularly. And so we just want people to understand that it is a very safe and very, it's a relatively clean stream to dip your toes in.
Absolutely. Now back to those shoebox boat races and all of the fun activities. Talk to me a little bit more about that and how people can get involved.
Shoebox boats. The shoebox boats is a tongue twister. Those are for kids ages 3 to 12. If they register early, that would be great. It's just $5. They can go on our website and find that information. They can also do the cardboard boat races, which is for adults and teenagers. We've added a teen category this year. So you actually build a boat, a cardboard boat with duct tape and paint. You actually sail that down Shoal Creek. So there's prize money involved. So our sponsors have helped us with some of that prize money. So we're really hoping that people register early. If they are a little bit lackadaisical in that area, show up at 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning and we'll fit you in.
All right, wonderful. Well, such a fun community event happening this weekend. If people want to find out more information about this or the nature group, where can they do so?
Yes, check out our website for sure, www.wildcatglades.org, or on our Facebook page. That's probably the most up to date. So as things change quickly, please check us out.
Absolutely. Well, Robin, thank you so much for your time this morning. Happy to have you. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is now 7:44 on this Thursday morning. Starting Skywatch Storm Tracker. Thunderstorms kind of cycling, recycling. They fizzle out, or at least they die down a bit, and then they pick back up again. Nothing strong or severe, but we do have some heavier shower storms from El Dorado Springs back down towards Stockton, west towards Sheldon, getting ready to roll into Lamar, Nevada, Fort Scott. Jasper, you are going to be next on this list. We've got this thunderstorm that's now just to the north of Asbury out there. Another one into northern Cherokee County. We've got some around the Pittsburgh area, Oswego, Parsons, Coffeyville, Independence, back down into parts of Washington County and Chautauqua counties. These are where the heavier thunderstorms are. And we've got some moderate rain falling back behind this, so just about all of southeast Kansas getting in on some moderate rainfall out there. And again, no severe weather with this activity. These storms could potentially produce winds up to 60 miles an hour if they manage to re-intensify, which they've been trying to do for the last hour or so. But you can see where they keep cycling too, where they get going again, then they kind of fizzle back out and they try again. So at most right now, again, we are getting some winds, maybe 30, 40 miles an hour. We're getting a lot of heavy rain. A flood warning is still in effect in Bourbon County until 12:15 this afternoon. So with that, of course, remember, turn around, don't drown. Otherwise, there's also quite a bit of lightning. We're down to about 130 strikes. And again, at the peak of all of this rolling in, we were near 500 lightning strikes, but still want to be cautious out there. So here's a look at what our threat looks like. Again, it is for the potential for damaging wind gusts. It is isolated to the southern half of our area as this line continues to push through. But these aren't the only storms we're going to see. We've got the chances now through about 1, 2 o'clock. Then we'll have scattered storms. They'll be more scattered than what we're seeing right now across the region, especially along and south of the I-44 corridor into the afternoon and early evening hours, as you can see, even into northeast Oklahoma. Then late evening, there's a little bit of a pause in activity, and about, say, 10, 11 o'clock, new thunderstorms begin to develop, scattered storms at least, overnight into southeast Kansas, northeast Oklahoma. By 2 o'clock Friday, you can see them getting closer to the 69 corridor, and as we roll into 5 a.m., they're now crossing into Missouri along the I-49 corridor. Could get a little redevelopment with those storms, and then this activity clears out by about, say, 11 or noon, but Future Track is now picking up on at least the possibility of an isolated shower storm by mid-afternoon into the evening hours in parts of southeast Kansas, eventually rolling to the east before it begins to fizzle out as well. We're also going to be still pretty hot tomorrow, and we're going to be very muggy today into the upcoming weekend. Starting our day, upper 70s. We'll have scattered storms. Of course, the rain out there, our temperatures are going to vary quite a bit across the area, so it's just a rough kind of guideline out there, maybe mid-80s by 11, those scattered storms. Into the afternoon, though, we all eventually get an opportunity to heat up. We're looking at highs, most of us, a hair below average, right into the upper 80s, maybe about 90. But with all the moisture in the air, the humidity, everything like that, it is going to be very muggy today, putting our heat index value still close to 100. So we're talking a pretty big gap from air temperature to heat index out there. So just make sure you're still taking precautions. As we head into the evening, as mentioned, isolated storms initially, and then a few few more scattered storms overnight. Temperatures, once we get past sunset, kind of level out a bit. You see we're at 76 by 10, 74 overnight. It's because, again, the cloud cover does help keep the warm air in, and that applies in any time of the year. Tomorrow, mid-90s, heat index values up to 105. That continues into the weekend. We're dry, maybe some pop-up storms Monday, Tuesday, and could even see the upper 90s as we roll into the next work week. That's Checking Your Forecast. We are back with more right after this.
Well, 2 medical students from UConn are using their passion for biking to raise money for suicide awareness.
Marcus Savage shares their remarkable journey.
They've set a goal of 3,300 miles.
Biked a little over 2,000 miles, maybe 2,200. So we're definitely over halfway. We've got probably about 1,100, 1,200 left to go.
On the road for 50 days and new challenges at every turn.
I've had 4 flat tires. Zach's had 0, but it's all good. The only big issue was my rear wheel kind of failed on me, so I had to get a new one.
2 University of Connecticut medical students set out on an adventure of a lifetime, all to bring suicide awareness to communities across the nation.
The ability to sort of champion a cause and raise money for a good foundation is really huge to me. I think, to me, that meant a lot more than doing research over our first summer off in med school. But having the opportunity to raise money, and especially as much as we have, I think that means a lot more to me than anything that I could have been doing this summer.
This movement is one that James holds close to his heart as he's witnessed loved ones battle mental illness.
I did lose my father to his depression in 2022, so that's kind of went into the decision for us to raise funds for that cause.
So he and Zach joined forces to show that there's hope.
You're never alone, and sometimes it can be hard to reach out and express the emotions or thoughts that you're going through to the people around you, but there's always support and there's always people that are going to look out for you.
And throughout this trip, they've encountered members in every community willing to lend a hand.
We've had a lot of people take us in, give us a meal, warm shower, and host us for the nights.
With the troubles we've had, it seems like we've always had somebody come in at the exact time when we needed something.
All of which is an inspiration for the future.
It's honestly showed and given faith in humanity and that people are wholeheartedly good and will always try and do the best for you, especially if you reach out and ask.
Teaching this duo lessons that will last a lifetime.
Outside of the money, which obviously is we're so grateful for and people have been so generous with, just sharing the message and kind of just showing people that a lot of people have this struggle, I think is very important.
The bike trip itself has given maybe a little more insight into the struggles that people who face depression really feel, and it's only a fraction of it, but it's tough, and those people go through that every single day, so it allows you to empathize a little bit more.
A certainly impressive bike ride there.
Very heartwarming indeed.
And we've got some showers and storms still pushing through the area. Quick look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker. We got a line of storms out there. Nothing strong, nothing severe. Getting some light gusty winds here and there, like 30, 40 miles an hour possibly. But again, everything at this point below severe limits. This line, it's been trying to re-intensify a bit to like low-grade severe status. Came close Cedar St. Clair County earlier, but then weakened again. So hopefully that remains the trend. So get some lightning, of course, and as you're preparing your day, you got to watch out for that as well. This activity continues to sink off to the south-southeast, and it's got back behind it some moderate to even heavy rainfall. We have a flood warning in Bourbon County until 12:15 this afternoon. If these storms try and re-intensify, gusty winds, maybe upwards of 60 miles an hour, are the primary concern, especially in the southern half of our area. Once they clear out, or at least this line moves through, we'll still have scattered storms through about 2, becoming much more scattered later this afternoon and evening, especially into our southern counties. And then eventually a brief pause where we have like very isolated storm chances before more build in overnight tonight. So here we are at 2 a.m. west of 69. By 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, we're along the I-49 corridor. That activity clears out. We heat up. And then we could see a few isolated storms late afternoon, early evening tomorrow as well. We'll have another look at your forecast and your wake up recap right after this.
This is your wake up recap for July 17th. The top stories to start your day. A high-speed chase in Pittsburgh ends with a crash and arrest early yesterday morning. The chase started near the intersection of East 7th and North Elm and ended at the National Mini Storage Facility on Joplin Street. A search of the vehicle uncovered cocaine and other illegal drugs. Investigators learned the suspect had battered and threatened 2 women before the chase. He now faces multiple felony and misdemeanor charges and is currently held in the Crawford County Jail without bond. The Newton County assessor says she is refusing to raise property assessment values. According to Missouri state law, assessments have to be within 90 to 110% of market value. Newton County is currently at 77%. Now, last month, the State Tax Commission voted to withhold 2026 assessment maintenance funds from Newton County and more than $108,000. That's a check of today's Wake Up Recap.
Showers and thunderstorms continuing to push through the area this morning, and in fact getting some new development across Jasper County out ahead of this line. Nothing strong or severe, but it is something we'll keep an eye on as we could get some damaging wind gusts. Highs today, upper 80s. Heat index values, though, still up to 100. Mid 90s tomorrow. Heat index values to 105. Hot and muggy through the weekend, and even hotter by next week. So a lot to monitor.
Yes.
And of course, we'll keep an eye on these storms. Anything pops up, we'll let you know. We'll be back with more news and weather today at noon.
Have a great rest of your morning.